At Arctic Wolf, numbers don't lie. More than 10,000 customers across 30 countries have joined Arctic Wolf's mission to end cyber risk. We make security work. Learn how. Visit arcticwolf.com/Spotify. That's arcticwolf.com/Spotify today.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. Hours at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the ring, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 317th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz. I am the host of this lovely show and joined, as always, by my good buddy and friend, my co-host, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how you doing?
Dude, I am amazing. I didn't go anywhere this weekend except, my niece's wedding, which I don't count. They're just down the road. So
right,
a little more relaxed, which is good. So that's good. And, FTR still champions of the world. So that's always good. And
always.
But no, seriously, just in a good mood in general. The NFL draft is tomorrow. That's why we're recording tonight, because we are both massive football fans. I am a draft nerd. That is literally, I almost like the draft more than I like the game of football.
It's an exciting time for sure.
I like to get on Madden. I like to pick a team. And honestly, I get bored after that first 5 years. I draft a team. I basically get rid of everybody. I get a whole bunch of picks and I build the team. That's kind of what I do, depending on, it don't matter what team it is. They become an expansion team. I get rid of everybody. By the third year, there is nobody from the original team on my team, right? I build them in my image. So because of Madden, because of franchise mode, I've always just loved the draft because the hits and misses. I'm one of those people, and I know this will catch shit for anybody that listens to the show that likes Madden. I think the franchise and the drafting on Madden is too easy. I can pick up the patterns on it too fast. I never have misses. Dude, I want a draft. I want the draft game where this guy's the number 1 overall pick. He kills it at the combine. He does everything, and then he just gets on your team and doesn't perform.
You want busts to be more of a frequent thing.
Yeah, because honestly, think about it. Most draft picks are bust.
Sure.
Most of them. Most draft picks don't spend more than a year or two in the NFL, especially once you get past the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round. Some of the people don't even make the team. Busts are a huge part of football. And there's this, the part that you can't measure, confidence and that kind of stuff. And if you look at those stats on the game, they get like 90, they get like really high scores but a lot of times the quarterback comes out and he's great in college and then his confidence just takes a hit. And it's like, and they never get back to it. So, yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't want the game to be harder. So, but alas, this is not a football podcast. But understand, professional wrestling is the love of my life. But football, NFL or college, is right behind it. When I was in college. When people asked me, when I was doing my major, it was political science. And it was like, everybody's like, you like government? I was like, no, that just seems like the easiest class to teach while I'm coaching football. It's like, because you know what? You teach history, you teach government. Guess what really doesn't change? Like, here's your syllabus. Boom. Here's your syllabus. Hello. I'm gonna sit over here and write plays and ignore all of you. But no, so yeah, football's amazing. So looking forward to tomorrow. And and then WrestleMania. I know, again, not a WWE podcast, but I want to give the shout out to the genius, which is the WWE. We're going to put out a completely mediocre to bad night one. So when we give you a good night two, it'll seem like the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Because it just seemed like they just loaded everything up on night two. Like, honestly, if I talk about night one, most people don't even remember what happened other than, I think, Paige coming back. Shout out to Saraya. Congratulations. I mean, she wanted to get back. She never wanted to leave WWE in the first place. So I'm very happy for her. She got her moment. But that being said, it was just like night one. I was at my niece's wedding, right? And I turned off all social media and all that kind of stuff. But after I watched it, I turned it on mid. And I thought the same thing watching it. As much as I love Cody and Randy, it seemed like the beginning of a story instead of the end. And that's where WrestleMania is supposed to be kind of the beginning of it's supposed to be the end of a story.
Conclusion, yeah.
Yeah, but it seemed like the beginning of it. And I never had a problem with Pat McAfee being involved. I know that makes me weird, but I like Pat McAfee. It was a really good show, but I just like to let everybody know I am Obafemi's my guy. He's gonna be my guy, and that's a thing. Like I had if you'd have asked me Sunday morning, like, hey, how many WWE shows are you gonna go to this year? The answer would have been none, 0. I'm like, I like literally. There as much as I like the product, as much as I watch it every week, I don't go. I mean, all my money is reserved for the A. You know what I mean? Got a big trip with my wife at the end of the year. All my money's reserved for AEW, right? If Obafemi main event SummerSlam in Minnesota, I'll be there. No,
he's already in my good graces for retiring. Fuck Lesnar.
Yeah, so it was like I've reserved a hotel and bought a plane ticket, fully refundable. And it's like I'm not going until until it's announced. Until it's like
it feels like it's heading that way.
Yeah, and I'm only buying the night that he's in. I'm not going all nights. I'm only going the night that he's in. So I'm hoping him and Cody would be in the same night, but that's great. No, but seriously, the last couple weeks, as much as I cannot stand that dude now, I'm very open about it. It reminded me of I was a stark reminder of why I was a CM Punk fan.
Best in-ring wrestling, in-ring WrestleMania main event in like 10 years. Like, you had the whole finish of the story with the Infinity War moments of everything like that. That's what WrestleMania is, but in terms of in-ring work, that's the best one main event they've had in 10 years.
Yeah, I could see that. And it was just like, it was funny because, shout out Dave, he was doom and gloom before the second night of the show. And I'm like, it's Roman and Punk. It's Roman and Punk. And it's like, as much as I don't do that for many WWE people. I'm like, it's Roman and Punk. They're going to go out there and put on an amazing match.
Yeah.
And then they went out there and even like dog walked my expectations. Like I say I grade WWE on a different scale than AEW. And I would say this. For WWE, that was absolutely a 5-star match.
Yeah, it's going to be their match of the year. Like for WWE,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else would come down the pipe that would reach that level.
Who else gets the time? Who else gets the? That's what
exactly. Nobody else got the time on that entire weekend.
Yeah,
you're getting
really
15 minutes tops.
Yeah,
but everyone else is getting less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, they start coming out for the main event with an hour left in the program. That's how much.
I think Randy Orton is still walking to the ring right now.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, so. Yeah, and everybody, if you listen to the show, you're like, why are they talking about WWE? Honestly, we're covering Dynamite. I think they might have announced 2 matches for Collision. This is going to be a very, very abbreviated show because we covered Dynamite and Collision and the pay-per-view last week because Collision happened on Thursday. So literally, we're just going to review Dynamite for tonight and give our thoughts. So figure we can spend a few minutes giving it to WWE, shout out to WWE because I honestly thought night 2, I thought it was a really great night of WrestleMania, and I was glad I was able to be home and watch it, and I got to watch it with my brother, which was really cool. And then they put up over Finn over Brock Lesnar, which I was not 100% certain they was going to pull that trigger, but great job, great job doing it. I don't give them a lot of flowers but I thought, night 2. That's what WrestleMania is supposed to be. I know they won't because of my money situations, but until they got hot again, I'd probably be on one night of WrestleMania I'd go around.
If you're going to make the matches that short, you can literally fit it in if you just take out the goddamn ads. You could literally fit everything you had on nights 1 and 2 into one show if you didn't have 30 minutes of ads.
So, WrestleMania on ESPN, honestly, probably while it'll be rare if I go to a WrestleMania again. I try not to say never because generally whenever I say I'm never going to do something again, something happens and I end up doing it. So I'm never going to say I'm never going to WrestleMania again. I've always said I'll go to New Orleans, but the way it looks like for me sitting there through all those commercials, I'd probably do the thing that I thought was sacrilege a couple years ago. I would probably go to WrestleMania weekend. I will probably go to WrestleCon. I will go to the WWE stuff. I will go to a few indie shows. And then I'll probably bring my ass back home. Or at least watch at the hotel. Because, good Lord, the commercials. There was more commercials than Wrestling Night 1. It felt like.
I hope you were just excited for WrestleMania as you were for the Hulk Hogan documentary because God knows they wanted to make sure you saw it.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. And I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever, but because of where I am in my age and people around my age, we grew up in the shoot interview era, the everybody telling everything. So recently, they put out the thing for Shawn Michaels on Peacock, and then they put the thing from Hogan on Netflix, right? And all I ask this, and this is not me being a know-it-all wrestling fan. This is just true. Out of all the different videos we've seen of Shawn Michaels, videos and all that stuff, I've read his biography. I've read Hogan's biography, seen many videos on it. What are these 2 shows going to tell me that I don't know already?
Correct.
And it's just like, that's what it comes down to. Cody Rhodes is my favorite wrestler. But if they did a big-ass Cody documentary, I probably wouldn't watch that either. What are you going to tell me about Cody Rhodes that I don't know already, being a fan of Cody Rhodes for as long as I've been a fan of him? I mean this about like any documentary. I truly believe that. It's just like, if I don't feel like I'm gathering new information, I'm pretty much going to check out. So with Cody, it had to be like, dude, he is going to break the NDA. He's going to do whatever. And
I was just going to say, he has to explain what went down.
In detail, what happened and why he left the company. And then I'd be like, okay, you got me. But other than that, I never need to hear another Cody Rhodes interview again in my life. I know, struggled being raised by his dad and His dad, sold the watch, so he go to acting school. Then he became a wrestler. Then he bet on himself. AEW exists. He came back. I'm like, I know the story. What are you going to tell me about you that I don't know?
Yes.
So I don't know. We finished.
I will say,
we finished that story.
Yes. I will say one last thing in regards to WrestleMania weekend and stuff like that before we get back to what the show is, which is all things Elite. Real quick, if you want to know my quote-unquote rating of WrestleMania, both nights 1 and 2 combined, the whole thing, probably give it like a 5 to a 6. That'd probably be my rating out of 10. So I didn't hate it, didn't love it, like kind of just came and went. Like I said, saw many people saying it didn't feel like WrestleMania season, and it didn't. So like
I thought the second night did. I truly did.
Yeah, there was moments where it did, yes. And again, the main event was spectacular. The only thing I want to say outside of the actual event, I plead with everyone within who can hear the sound of my voice, who has a functioning brain, like, you guys got to be respectful to wrestlers. The stories that were coming out this weekend in Vegas with the amount of hell that these wrestlers were going through in terms of just getting swarmed because they were staying at a hotel that they couldn't lock down because of it being a public casino and everything like that, and just constantly being hounded for autographs and pictures and stuff like that. I mean, we've seen stuff come out with Royce Keys. We've seen stuff come out with Drew McIntyre. We've seen stuff come out, obviously, with the most famous video being this video of Punk slapping the phone out of the guy's hand. Y'all gotta like get some goddamn manners. So I don't know who, like, if you don't got no, like, your mama should have taught you that. Like,
I will say this, and I'm not taking up for anybody, but I know what I'm about to say is unpopular. That's why I'm prefacing it. I can't blame people for being people, right? Mm-hmm. We can sit here and yell until we're blue in the face, be better people, but they're not, right? We know they're not going to be better people. I have never stood in a hotel waiting for someone to get there, ever. That doesn't make me better. That doesn't make me anything. It's just, that's my choice, right? I think if they're not at a meet and greet or anything like that, that's their personal time. And other than a hi or hello,
correct,
I generally just move on. That's how I feel about it. Airports, I only go to the airport if I'm leaving or flying or, going out. I have no desire to go stand at the airport to hope that I meet someone. That's just not me. But the people that do it because they can. And this is where I say, this is my pushback. Two things need to change. First of all, WWE is $1 billion company that wants to be seen as pro sports. The NFL doesn't have this problem. The NBA doesn't have this problem. MLB doesn't have this problem. You know why they don't have this problem? Because they have security there. They have security escorting the people to where they need to go, right? If you want to meet these people, it's just generally going to be at a organized event, right? WWE, $1 billion business. I forgot how much they sold for. They can hire the local security in that area to get these wrestlers where they need to be. Somebody like Will Hobbs, yeah, I know. But he shouldn't have to have these conversations. Security should be having these conversations. And number two is going to be the least popular thing I'm ever going to say. It's kind of on the wrestlers. The reason I say that is, say no.
Bless you.
Thank you. Say no. And I don't mean say no like wrestlers get together, blanket. If you're in our hotel or you're in an airport, I am not taking a picture with you. I am not signing an autograph for you. Period. No exceptions. No, this is real quick. No, this is my 3-year-old kid. Oh, no, fuck all that. Blanket no. 6 months the people would stop being there.
See, I'd like to believe, like, if you're saying just if every wrestler in the entire industry just said like no to all of it, and then like
you're in the no zone. The airport and the hotel is the no-no zone.
Problem is, I feel like people have said that for years upon years upon years, and people just don't listen. It goes back to the security thing. Like
and I'll say this. You say that, and then I'll use the names. Dustin Rhodes says, the fans are why we're here. Come up to me wherever I am. That ruins it. That's a mixed message. It needs to be a solid message from all wrestlers. No, we're not doing it. And it's not because you don't like the fans. It's not to protect yourself. It's to protect your other people. When people know there's no reason to stay there, they'll stop staying there. They do it because it works. They do it because it works. And I will say it one more time. They do it because it works. Make it stop working. Make it a waste of time to stay at the hotel and the airport. Then people would stop doing it. That's how I see it. I may be so fucking wrong. This is an opinion from a fan that has literally had to walk past these people, and I see them at the hotel. I see them after All In or all whatever, and they're standing at the hotel waiting and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, dude, this has to be a blanket no statement. It has to be. And because I think it's easier to get wrestlers to change than to ask the world to change. You get what I mean?
It's a fair enough point. I think it's idealistic.
But it's no more idealistic. Like, people have to have manners. It's no more idealistic than that.
Sure.
Because the people that you're saying that to aren't listening to this show. The people that you're saying that to aren't on Twitter. They know what they do is wrong. They know they shouldn't be there. They don't care.
But I don't, and some of them I think don't know what they're doing is wrong too. Because I mean, like, the guy who got his phone slapped down by Punk was like, "I'm not gonna call the cops. I'm not gonna sue him. I just want an apology." Like, he deserves fucking anything. So, like, some of these people don't know what they're doing is wrong. They just think, like, oh, it's fine to come up and just snag a little pic and then just, be like, yeah, I got a picture with this person, or just to follow them around because they're like, well, they're in Vegas. I'm in Vegas. We're here for the same reason.
Yeah.
People don't realize that they're overstepping boundaries.
And that is where the security comes in.
And that's why I understand that. And again, like, there was a whole thing where they basically, hotel security was not prepared for this because, again, it's not a whole different fucking thing.
You weren't prepared for it the first year you had it. You definitely should have been.
No, the first year was they weren't even at the MGM Grand. They were at some sort of other hotel where they were able to actually lock down the hotel. Like that, they didn't have the level of issues they had this year that they had last year, and it's because they weren't staying at a place like the MGM Grand where they can't really just lock the entire hotel down.
Dude, I saw it, and it always makes me sad to be a wrestling fan. But
Absolutely.
I always see
it takes it away from, like, all the other fans that were respectful, who spent hard-earned money for meet and greets and stuff like that. You get lumped in with these fucking idiots.
Yeah, because it's like, and you know what? We can sit here and tell you all the times we did the right thing, but we shouldn't be. Really, we should just do the right thing. It shouldn't be like
the right thing to do.
It shouldn't be telling you pat yourself on the back and like, I'm a better fan than you or anything like that. Fuck all that. It's just like, the dude. This is where I've always put myself. I work on computers for a living, right? We talk. I record the show on a computer or whatever. But when I'm off work, I don't care about your computer problems. At all. You're like, hey, could you help me out with this? Dude, unless we're tight, the answer is no. I make a living working on computers, but I don't like computers. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't. When I get off of here, I might be on my phone all day, but I generally don't use computers. And y'all probably heard this stick on this show a few times. I don't really like the industry that I work in. It provides me a really good life, so I don't, that I love. But other than that, I don't. And I try to think of myself. Let's just say them. I'm coming back to my hotel, right? After a day of work, coming back to the hotel. Somebody's like, hey, man, let's talk about computers. Let me stop you and get your picture. Can you sign these 20 things so I can go sell them online and make money off your name that I'm not going to give you any of? Sure. No, it's just like, and if you don't, they start calling you a dick and berating you. And it's just like, this shit's stupid. Like, I mean, like literally, I've been in lines with, like Starbucks and all that stuff. It's a quick hello and then continue what you were doing.
Yes.
That's it.
Dude, I can tell you right now, like, for example, like just a random situation too. Like, I was at the Pistons game 1 against Orlando last Sunday, covering it for work. I'm in line to get media food, and walking up behind me is Grant Hill. And, like, we're both there. We're both working. And, like, I had this dude's jersey when I was, like, 3. So, like, I could have instantly have tried to, like, be that guy and pull a phone out and be like, hey, man, you cool if I get a picture real quick? But, like, I knew he had a broadcast he was getting ready to go do literally in less than an hour. And he was just grabbing food just like I was. And I was just like, I chatted with him for a little bit and then we bounced. Like, we kept it pushing. So,
yeah. I am of the a little stumbling on my words here. I just want you to treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And I know that's difficult because everybody wants to be treated differently in different situations. But there are times where it's just, to me, obvious that it's like, hey, or if someone says, no, thank you, or, hey, I'm busy or anything, just respect it.
Yes.
It really comes down to that. It's just like, however they guide you, just listen. It's like, hey, oh, yeah. Oh, I don't want to be bothered right now? Sure don't. Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and do this thing. I remember it was California after Dynamite 300. Cash and me were in the same, me and Cash were in the same security line. And, I'm fairly friendly with them. I mean, we're not best friends or anything, but I'm friendly with them. We talk. But we were in the line. I know we're all trying to get home. So we're in line, so I say, hey, man, hey, it was good to see you. I'll see you at the next show. And we said we kind of said that in line. I start walking this way. He goes off. I have no idea where he is because he's TSA pre-check, so he gets through the line quicker than me.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I go sit in security. I go over there to sit in my thing, and they happen to be in the same gate as me. Whoa, that's cool. So I spent time with them right then. But I wouldn't have went to another gate to follow them or hang out with them. This was a happy coincidence. But same thing happened with Jerry Lynn, Kevin Knight, and Camille were on my flights to Toronto. Quick wave, going about your life. I think that's the easiest. But I understand. Like I said, it's hard for me not to understand the other side of it, the fan side of it. I can't afford WWE World. But my kid really, really wants to meet Drew McIntyre.
Sure.
You know where I would be standing if that was the case? Right in that airport. I'd be standing right in that hotel. But not everybody's that person. You know what I mean? Most people aren't that person. But yeah, like I said, I've seen it. We've had conversations about it in like my group chats, and no one can come to a consensus on what to do. So I'm not saying this is an easy thing. Like, I have my way that I think would fix it, but it might not fix it at all. You know what I mean? It's just like, but I have my way, but I've also never been hounded for autographs or photos. Anybody wants a photo with me? Autograph from me? Which is never, I'm like, why not? Here, take a picture. Autographs seem weird to me because my autograph's not worth shit. But yeah, I take a picture with anybody, whatever. I just, like I said, it was just interesting to see it because wrestling fans, like me, I love wrestling fans. Love them. I want to talk to them all, even the ones that annoy me. Just love wrestling fans because we at least have that one thing in common. We love wrestling, right? But good Lord, man, people People love to jump on. Wrestling fans suck, and I really, really hate that. Because you're literally talking about the 1% of the 1% of fans that do that. But you say the blanket wrestling fans suck.
Right. You're generalizing.
Yeah, and Austin, Sydney, we've never stood in a hotel waiting to meet a wrestler. We've never stayed in the airport waiting to meet. Because you don't hear those stories. You don't hear.
I will tell you. I will tell you actually one slight thing. This was a wild situation where we booked our hotel for Revolution 2020, and just happened to be the exact same hotel that the wrestlers were staying at. Now, no instance did we actually wait for wrestlers.
That was Chicago, right?
That was Chicago. Yep.
Yeah. So
it was right next to the arena. Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed in that same hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the one where we actually became pretty good friends with Sam because we just talked with him for 30 minutes and stuff like that, just shooting the shit and everything like that. And that was the only time we were like Sydney wanted a picture with Cody, and we were like, hey man, you can say no, obviously, if she can snag a pic with Cody, are you all right if we try to do that, basically? Because he was working with Cody, directly at that point. And he's he's going to get swarmed, and I'm going to do my best to get him out of here, but if he comes by you and, you're, I see you, we can try to make it happen. That was, the only time that that ever happened. And again, we would not have just walked up and asked him, just cold called him. We talked with him and just actually chatted him up and stuff like that before we even brought up the idea and stuff like that. And any other wrestlers that we saw at the hotel just sitting around, we may have people watched a little bit just to kind of see him walk by and just kind of see the guys walk from the arena to the hotel, but we never walked up for a picture or anything.
So that was one of me and Tiffany's first trips together, right? And we stayed in the same hotel as you. And it made me, it definitely left a feeling of I never want to do this again.
No, exactly. I was this was such a weird situation. Yeah. I was it was just, we didn't even know that's where they were staying. We just booked it because it was a Hilton nearby. And then we were literally that was seeing that take place is that was weird.
Yeah, it was just weird because Tiffany be there, and she knows everybody at this time. She knew way more people than me at this time, so she'd be talking, and I'd literally just be standing back, not being bothered. But I'd be watching, Tiffany or whatever to see when we're going to move on to the next thing. So 2 times that weekend, Sonny Kiss, do you want a picture? And I'm just I'm good. I wasn't, I was standing there waiting on Tiffany. I wasn't, and it's awkward. The reason I say it's awkward, because it'd be you got to say, I don't want a picture with you.
Right, which makes it seem like I'm not a fan of you, yeah.
No, it's dude, I already have 3 pictures with you. I've done the meet and greet thing. I'm good. You can go back. You can just live your life, and I'm just going to stand here and wait on my friend. It had nothing to do with whether I wanted a picture or anything. It was just and then the next time we were coming in, and Renee wasn't working with AEW at that time. She was coursing for Jon Moxley. He was winning the title that night. And Tiffany got a picture with Renee because we were kind of just walking into the hotel at the same time. And I had just literally met Renee at the WrestleMania before. And we just stand there. I'm literally just waiting on Tiffany. And she's like, do you want a picture? I was like, no, thank you. But, I appreciate it. But it was just it wasn't a situation. And it always made me feel awkward because I felt like I was rejecting them to a point.
Right.
Which is not what I want to do. I literally just want to leave you alone. I want to leave you be. I that's it. So, and after that weekend, had a great time. Don't get me wrong. After that weekend, I was I went out of my way to make sure that I'm not staying at the hotel. And people be like, well, how do you know? It's out there, unfortunately.
People figure this shit out.
Yes. Honestly, you're it's very easy to figure out on your own. And I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but it's very easy to figure out on your own. It's but I don't figure it out because I don't want to stay there.
Yes.
But then now at this point, I know people that literally work in AEW. I could ask. Never once have asked. Why? Because it's fucking weird to me. It makes me feel weird. I can't tell you how to feel. It makes me feel weird because I couldn't imagine standing there and people watching me all the time. Like, I would love to be rich. I don't think I ever want to be famous. Because I like the natural thing of getting to know people and meeting people, not wanting to see anything from each other, just, shooting the shit. But yeah. But all right, we're ready to move on.
Yeah, I think we've touched on everything outside of that, and we can move into our AEW Dynamite review. We talked for a little bit. I'll just be real quick with the plug. Rate, review, subscribe, download this show, whether you listen to us on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Share us around with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. We are at AT Elite Pod on Twitter. Excuse me. You can also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible, and check out all the other amazing podcasts on the Social Suplex Network. I am at Austin Sumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. Go sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. You can find that link to that in the description of the show. The news of the week regarding AEW was in regards to the AEW merch department. There was stuff going around specifically through Reddit at first with regards to AEW's merch team and the idea that Pro Wrestling Tees, like AEW was breaking off from them, and then in part of that, they ended up laying off basically their entire merch department. That was the report that was the rumor that was going around. Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees immediately responded on the situation on that too. So, I mean, Floyd, you got the information.
I was just going to read Ryan's statement so it's out there, because I think at one point, I think I deleted it since then, but I shared the Reddit thing because it came from Sean Ross Sapp. The person who made the Reddit post circulating has no knowledge of our business. Nothing on that post is true, except that we unfortunately told some of our contracted designers that we would not need them for as many AEW designs anymore. Some of the AEW designers are still contracting. Nothing has changed otherwise, and we're still fulfilling merchandise orders or merchandise for AEW. Ron Barker, owner at Pro Wrestling Tees. So how this came across my page is Mel Coleman said she wasn't going to be working with AEW, and I'm a big fan of her stuff. So I was very interested in what that meant as far as going forward. And and we got some information that she wouldn't be designing for AEW anymore, which again, I don't know what that, like, officially designer, maybe she's not on the payroll or whatever, or how that works. Again, don't know the business. But I imagine if she designs an awesome shirt, they'll put the shirt up still. You know what I mean? Because I think most of FTR's like biggest things that they've sold, whether it be the Shatter Machine shirt or I think it was the CMFTR with all their faces on it, was literally just designed by somebody on Twitter, tagged Dax in it, and Dax I had nothing to do with it, but however, it was sold through Twitter, right? It was sold through Instagram or whatever. They saw it and they bought it or whatever. My friend sold something to Shazza McKenzie this week. It's like, you don't have to be contracted with AEW for your stuff to end up on their site. But it does suck that layoffs have happened or whatever, or, contracts expired, however they want to put it. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that information got out there, because the reason I put it as the big story is because I believe I shared it from the AT account, and I checked through, and I believe I deleted it. But I shared the original post because it came from Sean Ross Sapp. And Sean Ross Sapp, he generally checks what he does, so I consider him a source of where I would share my information from. So, no, we ended up finding out that information wasn't correct. You've seen changes in the shop AEW.
Yep.
The pages are different. I think they have a different company that runs the website, but the orders are still being fulfilled by Shop AEW. Now, I have been of the idea that AEW needed to upgrade their merch level anyway. And I've always been that thought process as a person that buys shirts all the time. I think, how I think about your merch and designs may weigh a little bit heavier because I do buy a lot of shirts. And I think, like, the Darby shirt, right? And new. They only had it in long sleeve. Why?
Yeah. I knew that pissed you off.
I don't wear long sleeves.
I knew that bothered you.
It bothered me. I was going to buy it, and I didn't buy it because they only had it available in long sleeve. To each their own. I bought the half face with half Sting and half Darby today.
Yeah, the Top Rope Tuesday one.
Yeah, I bought that one. But, yeah, it kind of annoyed me that it was only available in long sleeve. Again, to make it clear that I'm happy for Darby. But
did you get the Kansas City Chiefs mask?
I did. It will not be here by tomorrow, though. It won't be here till Saturday.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So Saturday, while I'm watching rounds 4 through 7 of the draft, I will have my mask on.
Let's go.
I'll hopefully post a picture on the page because, I'm going to start robbing banks like my boy Chiefsaholic, you know? Now, if y'all don't know the story of Chiefsaholic, and you got some time, you're a little bored, look it up because that man robbed banks to go to Chiefs games.
Wild. Absolutely wild. I will say, in regards to the AEW NFL masks, I wish each mask was more team and city centric as opposed to just the color schemes with the logos on the side.
Yes.
Someone
else said that.
They're a little too basic for me. And considering that they're $60 each, and I know masks aren't cheap, but like $60, I kind of expect more than just the logo on the side.
Shout out to Chicago Bears fan base, the only one that sold out.
Because those psychos are going to just be like, yeah, and just like full on with it. I will say I am still unbelievably excited for the because they still announced the fact that they have the NFL AEW crossover hats. If that could be legit, if they actually have something legit with that. So I am excited for that, I will say.
If you buy 2 masks, you get free shipping and 10% off. So
I did just notice that, yeah.
So everybody buy mask. Definitely do that. I thought it was cool that the Chiefs are on it, but yes, it's
also wild too that this is only the first time that they've ever done NFL licensed stuff since TK. I mean, we've been known that the AEW's ties to the Jaguars. We've known that for the company's existence.
I was actually a little shocked because Fanatics is the NFL's merchandise.
Right.
And they have the deal with the WWE. So I was surprised that they got these masks out for AEW. I always assumed the reason that they didn't do anything NFL licensed is because of the Fanatics deal with the WWE. So that's what I always assumed. But no, like I said, I think all these masks are cool. But yeah, they are generic. It's the reason I don't have the WWE belt with Kansas City on it. I think it's that generic design. I want the years we've won the title. I want a picture of Arrowhead Stadium. I have all these things. I want them to be all unique and special to the city that they're representing. Shit, I want a slab of ribs on there for Kansas City or whatever in the hell. In Detroit, I want a picture of Eminem somewhere. No, well, whatever. Yeah, or a assignment on the Detroit one that says this is the only title they'll ever win. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying the Chiefs took a 50-year break, and
Are you back though? Are you?
Huh?
Are you back this year though? Are you really?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we're back this year. I can never tell you what we're going to be in April. Like even the years we won the Super Bowl. I remember the year after we lost Tyreek Hill, I was like, okay, if we can just win the West, and then we literally make it to the next 3 Super Bowls after that. So,
right,
I am not an expert, but I will say we're closer than Detroit is at all times.
Moving on, we can go ahead and get into AEW Dynamite taking place from Portland, of course. This show aired a few hours before we started recording. The first thing that started was we looked back at the events that brought up to Darby Allin beating MJF for the AEW World Championship last week. MJF comes out, darts straight to the ring, is pissed. He's got his gear on. He says, I need respect after last week's Seattle screw job. He's like, I beat Kenny Omega in a absolute war on Dynasty, and 3 days later I find out, day of, that I'm defending the World Championship against Darby Allin, and then that bimbo Aubrey Edwards did a fast count. Darby low-blowed me.
Both my shoulders are up. He said that both.
Yeah, both of my shoulders are up. Your statement is contradicted by the evidence. Everything you said, maybe you could have possibly argued. No, the evidence does not point in your favor, man.
Yes.
But basically, do you people believe that Darby could have actually beaten me at 100% after everything I did? I guaranteed that Hangman Adam Page would never touch the AEW World title as long as he lives, and I kicked out of the One-Winged Angel. I don't care about the main event or any psycho killer. Darby needs to hand over my World Heavyweight Championship, my Triple B. However, Darby doesn't come out. He is actually interrupted by the TNT champion, the Jet Kevin Knight. Talked about how different city, you're still whining like a bitch. And he proceeds to say, you know what? The Jet has landed, and you got to admit how good the TNT title looks on the Jet, because you had me beat for the world title, but I was screwed, and I should be Jet 2 belts right now. And MJF basically goes like, as I remember it, I hit the Heat Seeker, got an easy dub, and if anybody deserves to be world champion, it's me. But you know what? You fit the bill as a workhorse. You're good, but you have a ceiling. You're never going to be world champion. You shouldn't be breathing the same air as me. Kevin Knight basically threatens to slap MJF's nose off his face. And he said, the greatest in AEW have held the TNT title, so it makes sense you've never had it. And that's when he immediately was like, I challenge you for that TNT championship. And he's like, all right, you know what? Let's go. MJF calls for a referee. Ref comes in, and then he immediately rolls out of the ring and goes, nope, you can dance with the devil next week. So I like how we go immediately. I was expecting an immediate bolt to the ring for MJF for him losing the title last week to Darby. His social media stuff with how much he was losing it over Darby beating him was hilarious. So having him come out like pissed is just the way that I wanted this show to start off. Cool moment for Kevin Knight to be able to get on the show with the TNT title, defend it against MJF, and it was we're gonna have that match for next week now. And yeah, I thought it was just a really solid opening to the show. It's kind of how I was expecting it to go, and it delivered, I feel like, in terms of just an opening segment.
I completely agree. This is when I'm talking about MJF being the best wrestler in the world, which he made a statement about during this promo. This is what I mean. The energy, the angriness that came through. And, like I said, until he said both shoulders are up and the fast count, I was like, I kind of agreed with him. It's like, name the time in babyface history that they've had a main event, epic match on Sunday and then had to defend it on Wednesday. Shit, they fought against it when MJF tried to beat Hangman for it the next time. So I was like, this feels like, it truly does feel like a double standard. The whole Darby thing, I'm not going to go through it again, but it felt like a double standard. But Darby's champ, so that's good. And then MJF being pissed about it is better. Because honestly, with MJF doing this thing with Kevin Knight, spotlight on Kevin Knight and him had a match, I think it was for the world title a few months ago, and he just won. So now they get to run it back. Kevin Knight's been elevated, so you get to see where it goes from there. But the whole thing with getting the title back from Darby. Now, I will say this. This is what I came out of. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the match of Double or Nothing is going to be. But after that, I felt like if MJF was to go to Double or Nothing and just beat Darby, yeah, that would be bad. Because literally, that just makes him right? Mm-hmm. That makes him right. That means, yeah, Darby didn't deserve to have the title. So I think if they do a match of Double or Nothing, Darby needs to win again. He needs to beat MJF at full strength. But again, that's just me as a fan thinking based on what him saying, if he just goes in the Double or Nothing MJF versus Darby Allin rematch and he just beats him, then he was right? I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
We then had a quick promo from The Demand basically saying how, they're going to be facing Chris Jericho and two partners of his choice on Collision this week. However, he doesn't still have his answers of who's going to be teaming with him, and Demand's like, no one wants to team with Jericho, and basically being like, Jericho, no one wants to be with someone whose new gimmick is the guy who gets his ass beat by The Demand every single week he shows up, which is now a t-shirt. It's the most wordy t-shirt I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
It's too many words.
I always think it's funny because it's so wordy. That's what makes it hilarious to me.
It's too many words.
Too many words. And he does this thing where after he says everything, Jericho now adds like bald or something into it. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes. Jericho was like, you can't say that anymore. I have it copyrighted. Tying into the fact of like Jericho having phrases that people have noticed have been like trademarked and stuff like that. Ricochet's like, no, I should have it. I'm the one who said it. No, here's my newest shirt. And then like it's trademarked. And then Ricochet was like, you can steal my idea, but I will steal your dignity with the Rico salt. And he's like, nah, it's not about finding someone who likes me. It's about finding someone who doesn't like you.
And I thought, what's his name? Toa did a good job on the facials there. He's like, yeah, people do hate us.
I was just going to say, yeah, we're not exactly the most likable people. We then had the opening match of the show, Brody King versus Lio Rush. Thought this was a good match. I will tell you right now, as somebody who thinks I've said before that I think Lio Rush is a good wrestler, this gimmick doesn't do it for me, personally. Like, I know he's gotten some buzz. He got shared on Instagram by Dochi about what he was doing and stuff like that, and he's grabbing people's attention. You can't deny that. It's not for me. I think it's a bit too much. I know that's weird to say in AEW where there's a lot of wild gimmicks. I mean, what is timeless Tony Storm? Like, so I understand what I say when like I say that's too much for me. I've seen Lio Rush wrestle on AEW before, and like I always give props to his wrestling because I think he can wrestle a damn good match. This specifically, I'm just like I could do with not seeing this personally. That's just me. They did a good match. Brody was great, cutting the promo afterwards, saying that he'll be keeping an eye on the world title match later tonight because he is going to be going after whoever has it. And of course said, but Darby, I'm so proud of you, but not happy for you enough to not want to take that title from you. So,
okay. I thought the match was too long. Because again, this show had a lot of predictable matches in it. They threw me off on one, but this match with Lio Rush, to me, this is how it works. Either the character has to work and he wins, or he beats him quickly. The fact that you did this long ass match with, and then gave us the result that you were expecting, I don't know. I like Lio Rush, always have. Like Brody King, I'd rather you put somebody in there with Leo's size, try to get the gimmick over by winning a few times. But I don't know. It just felt like I remember like me and JR are on the phone, and I feel us both zone out when this match, like halfway through this match. Like the character, it is what it is. I'm okay with spooky stuff in wrestling, but until it shows some kind of advantage, I'm not interested.
Right.
Lio Rush lost all the time when he was regular Lio Rush. Now that he's Blackheart Lio Rush, he still loses all the time. Why am I supposed to be interested in this character? Just as a fan, why should I be interested in it?
It's very much a fair point.
Well, so. He's losing with creepy eyes in now.
Like,
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. We had a little promo from Tommaso Ciampa backstage leading into the main event saying basically, you have never seen a man more prepared for his moment than I am tonight. Now go ask Darby Allin, do you want this more than I need it? Which is a great line. And then there was a great promo from Cope afterwards talking about how Christian and Cope said that they would never get another shot at the World Tag Team Championship from FTR's proclamation. But basically, you know what? I think we do deserve another one, and I have an idea that even FTR can't refuse. They say they're the greatest of all time. It's debatable, but they can say they are one of the greatest because of what they did to my face. So at Double or Nothing, it'll be Cope and Cage versus FTR for the AEW World Tag Team titles in a New York street fight. And Cope's like, I knew you'd be wondering, FTR, what's in it for you? And if FTR wins, Cope and Cage will retire as a team and never team again. And Cope's like, I already know what your answer would be. If you're the greatest tag team of all time, I know what your answer should be, unless you truly know deep down that we are better than you. There's only one way to prove it. Ball's in your court, boys.
So, okay, this was an interesting way to go. This was an interesting way to go for me. I thought the promo was good. I was fairly certain that we were going to get the FTR versus Young Bucks versus FTR.
Maybe that match is still being ideaed for All In.
Maybe, or again, basically Cope called dibs. I mean, the Young Bucks could be like, we still haven't heard from the Young Bucks, and we're still a month away from the match. The Young Bucks might be like, how do you get another shot right away or whatever, you know? Maybe they do that, or maybe this is just a match. Who knows? But, yeah, threes. That's how it works. That's how my boys work, FTR. I think they love the work in threes. A street fight in New York sounds good, but this is how I see it, logically. This is how I am. If I'm FTR and I'm the greatest tag team of all time, right? Why would I then wrestle you in a match that doesn't require to be tagging at all? You're like, no. Why would
I was just going to say, it takes away their whole premise of the tag team.
Yeah, like, why would I wrestle you in that match? I'm just like, and this is like I said, it's just like logically. If I'm FTR, I'm like, okay, you want another title shot, that's great. You don't get to ask for another title shot and then name the stip, okay? like what? You're offering something, but you're also picking the stip. I don't know how I would feel about that. But no, looks like we're going to get FTR versus Cope and Christian in a New York street fight. And, you know, I'm not angry with it.
No.
I'm not angry with it. I know
our preferred thing.
I know some people out there do not want Kofi and Christian ever to be the tag team champions in AEW. I accepted the moment that they got together that they were going to win the tag team belts at some point. Period. I'm just like, as a viewer, why do you put them together and not put the tag belts on them? Sting and Darby won the tag titles. You know,
yes, I was just going to say.
Let's talk about this glorious list of great tag team champions such as Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Like, it's not like, oh my God, no, like, oh, they treated these tag belts so well that it has to be, you have to mean something in the lineage. I'm like, you're talking about Cope and Christian, Edge and Christian to the more thing. 10-time WWE tag team champions. Fuck, they're gonna be, to me, having their names in the legacy of the the AEW tag titles just makes it mean more. Were they ever my favorite tag team? No, not at all. Like, of the three, I think I was like Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge, and Christian. And you know why I didn't like Edge and Christian? This is going to be the most Floyd answer ever. Can you guess? One guess, and we'll move right on.
Why you didn't like them as a tag team?
Yeah. It's going to be so obvious.
I was just saying, it's obvious. It's just not coming to me right now. So why don't you just tell me?
They didn't have a tag team name.
There it is. It was just their names.
Yeah. They didn't have a tag team name. You're not a real tag team unless you have a tag team name. Edge and Christian is not the name of a tag team. That's the name of two people that happen to be teaming together. FTR, the Young Bucks, Dudleys. And then you got Edge and Christian. Screw you. I don't know. I didn't like, I mean, when I was younger, yeah, that was enough to like, they're not a real tag team. They don't even wear the same gear. I'm like, I don't even know how they call themselves a tag team. It's terrible. So maybe Edge, maybe Christian and Cope come out and do the right thing in New York and come out in matching gear. Because you got to have matching gear. Come on. You're a tag team. Come on. Even Jet Speed, as temporary as they were, had matching gear. Brody and Bandito, matching gear. We need matching gear if you're going to be a real tag team. Come on. Come out in your little Maple Leaf Blues or whatever in the hell that you're going to come out with or whatever. Whatever teams y'all like. I don't know. Hockey shit. FTR is going to beat you up anyway, but whatever.
There you go. We go into Hikaru Shida versus Mina Shirakawa. Good match. Possibly leaning towards, if they were implying what they were implying, maybe possible heel Mina? At least with her going for the kendo stick, which I know Shida carries around and has used before and everything, but like, is it a possible heel thing? Like her getting the comeuppance from Chris Statlander after she tried to go for the kendo stick? Like, are we possibly seeing heel Mina? I'll tell you right now, I do not want that. First of all, I would rather my Mina continue to be Mina Shirakawa. That's just me, though. But like Floyd, am I seeing that too much, or is that a heel inclination?
No, it's heavily leaning towards her or Chris Statlander is about to be really, really heel. And right now, they kind of need a big heel. I mean, they got Thekla in her group, but you kind of need another heel in there. But it looks like that we're leaning towards she's the one that got Toni Storm. So you know what that means? She is definitely not the person that attacked Toni Storm. Because whenever there's a whodunit, and let me just tell you the secret.
It's not the most obvious, yeah.
If you've ever watched the episode of Law & Order SVU.
Or Scooby-Doo. They always pick the first guy, and they know it's them. And it's never them. So this is just TV. This is not even wrestling. This is just talking in TV. So Correct. It's 100% sure it's not Hikaru Shida. I'm hoping it's the dentist. God, please let it be the dentist. But I doubt it's You're never going to give up.
I'm never going to give up. Until she pulls a Punk inside it shows up at the end of a WWE PLE, I'm going to keep hoping for Britt to come back. Me and my boy Chris will be the only two at the end. Please, like the day before her release date, we was like, okay, but Britt's coming back tonight. Yeah, it'll be me and him, the only two holdouts. Until we hear her directly, that is never going to happen. Let's go. Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné. Yes, the women's division misses them.
Oh, they do, yeah, for sure.
Both of them. I'm just like, when it was doing this, and I'm watching this match and all that kind of stuff, and Tekla's charisma is off the page. This is not at Tekla at all.
No, and she's doing a damn good job.
But when you have that level, her charisma is at the level of Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. I also think Willow's at that level too, just the energy that she comes off. But then I feel like there is, as far as charisma, like jump off the screen charisma, there is a huge gap for the next group of people. Like, I love Chris Statlander as an in-ring performer. When she's not in the ring, I get nothing from her. Like, I don't know what she's supposed to be thinking in this. I don't know her role. Is she okay with her being a bad guy? Is she not? Because she doesn't really emote. So
she did. The motivations for her are kind of all out of whack.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like, and I'm using an acting term here. Like, I'll watch different TV shows, and you'll see the guy, and it'll be a guy in the back, and the dude will be making expressions, and I'll be like, oh, that guy did it, right? Because with their face, they'll tell you where they're going. Chris Statlander is giving nothing on this, and it's just like, I have no idea what's going to happen. And it's just like, in storytelling, to me, foreshadowing is an important part. I should have at least an idea where she stands, and I couldn't tell you right now.
Yes. Matt, like I said, match itself was solid. I thought Sheeta was really showcasing her strikes like she always does with her knees. Mm-hmm. The package pile driver on the apron was vicious. And Mina hitting the rolling elbow and then falling basically at the same time as Sheeta was a really good spot too. But yeah, it was a solid enough match. We'll see what exactly leads towards Mina and Mina Shirakawa possibly going heel, or if Sheeta and Statlander, what their relationship will be like moving forward. So we will see how that develops.
I'm going to tell you, and this is what I'll say. If they're doing it on purpose, and the goal is for me not to know what's coming next, they are doing an excellent job.
Yes, that is true. We had Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay physical match, and this was basically continuing the story of just the hell that Ospreay's been going through for the last few weeks. Like, still covered in KT tape and still physically feeling the effects of everything that's been going on. Mark Davis, his former partner, just beat the fuck out of him in a lot of instances, but there was some great stuff in this match where Ospreay was still being able to fight his way through, using the steel steps and just kicking it straight into Mark Davis's knee, and then doing a great Hurricanrana off of the steps. They were trading chops and blows, and it was physical as hell. They fought their way up towards the ramp. Ospreay was able to free himself and do a dive off of the ramp onto Mark Davis, which was really, really strong. But eventually, just physicality-wise, there was not much that Ospreay could do. He gets clotheslined off of the top rope, and like the way his body was knocked off as he was hanging off of the top rope was wild. And then eventually, even though Ospreay was able to throw himself, basically his entire body in for a hidden blade, Mark Davis still would not stop and just continue to showcase his physicality, picking up Ospreay and pile driving him, which was just vicious, and then hitting a vicious pile driver on the apron, and he just crumples. Doc's checking on him. He can't continue, according to the doc, and then they call the match right there due to a doctor stoppage. It's a very rare sight for AEW, and Don Callis is laughing, celebrating. It looks like he's going to do that package reverse pile driver again, and then all of a sudden, there's Marina Shafir on the apron. Jon Moxley rolls into the ring and just stares at Mark Davis, and then the entire Death Riders swarm and surround the ring. Mark Davis relents and goes, I don't want the smoke. Just drops Ospreay's corpse basically slowly on the ring and then gets himself out of dodge. And then the Death Riders grab Moxley, throw him on his shoulders. Moxley carries him out. And, Claudio carries him out. And then Ospreay is taken by the Death Riders where? We do not know.
They're going to rebuild him like the Bionic Man. They're going to go rebuild us. So, let me tell you, this whole thing, I have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
I think this is intriguing.
I will say this is intriguing.
This is intriguing. But the next thing on the screen, who's the next person on the screen?
After this?
Yeah.
Alex Windsor.
And did she say anything?
Not a single goddamn thing.
Her soon-to-be husband just got kidnapped. Nothing. And I'm pretty sure they just pre-taped it earlier in the day. They didn't know where they was going to play it. But I'm just saying, I'm talking fan. A person not looking at the extreme production of wrestling, just a guy watching a TV. And Will Ospreay and Alex Windsor are together. He is very open about it.
They've shown their partnership on TV.
They've literally fought. He just gets kidnapped by the Death Riders. She's the next person on screen. Doesn't even acknowledge it. Like I said, I imagine it was a pre-tape. But it's like, that cracked me up. That was an unintended funny thing that I was like howling on. Like, how? So her fiance just gets kidnapped.
And we're just going to talk about Collision.
We're just going to talk about Collision. I don't know. I don't know if anybody was as amused by that as I was. This is not a complaint about the segment. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. That nothing. I got my business to worry about. He's going to handle his own. I'm on my own shit. I was like, that was pretty fucking hardcore.
No, for sure. We then had a returning Samoa Joe. First time in over 3 months. He's back doing a squash match and then reuniting with his boy Hook, who has been acting as the boss of the ops while Joe is gone. So they reunite. Yeah, it's good to see Joe back. That's basically all I have to say.
Yeah, there was nothing to write home about. Just happened.
Yes. There was a moment right before the main event where Tony Schiavone was introducing Darby Allin. He came to the ring and had his first appearance with the AEW World Championship. He laid it on the mat and knelt behind it. He's getting "You Deserve It" chants. And Darby points to it basically and said, "This took everything. I had my first match here in Portland. I didn't think what I was going to say because it all could end in a matter of minutes when Ciampa comes out here. But this championship, I see what this does to people, but it's not going to be me. It's for my family, for the Sherpas who helped me on Mount Everest, all the fans. I know it's a 15-minute ride. When it's over, I just want to know who I'm looking at in the mirror." MJF immediately interrupts him and is like, "Give that back right now." Darby does not say that he's going to. He wants a rematch. Darby says no. And he's like, "If you want a rematch, you need to put something on the line because unlike MJF, everyone else in the back deserves a shot at this. And I will do this every single week until my body gives out." And it starts with Ciampa. Ciampa's music hits. They're kind of face-to-face on the ramp. And they kind of stare at each other. MJF says some stuff. And Ciampa's response, which is really just the best way to just completely stun a hater. He just kisses him on the cheek and then goes down the ramp. I was like, fucking Ciampa, I love it. It's so good. It made me laugh.
Yeah, the addition of Ciampa to AEW just has meant a lot. And he gets it. He fits right in. It's like he's been here for 6 years.
Yes. And then we go into the main event, Darby Allin versus Tommaso Ciampa for the AEW TNT Championship, if I can get my words right. And this match was just really, really fucking good. Like, great main event to close out the show.
Dude, if all
obviously the outcome was not in doubt. It was pretty much not in doubt. Like we kind of knew how this was going to go. Yeah. Outside of that, though, it was physical. It was exciting.
And dude, if this is going to be how Darby's matches are doing his title run, sign me up for a year.
I was just going to say, man, like we know that this is probably just going to be, like you said, a 15-minute ride, but he's going to go.
He literally said it.
Speed.
He literally said it.
He said, he's like, I know I'm a transitional champion, but I'm riding this shit.
He said it. This is going to be a 15-minute ride. He's like, yeah.
I love it. No, and like again, like he's like, I love how much he's just like, fuck it. Like, I don't care how long I hold this for. I'm going like balls to the wall. And he did that in the very first match against Ciampa. Like the way these guys were going at each other was so fun to watch. Darby tried to go for a coffin drop early, but Ciampa's like, nah, timeout. I don't want that. And then he's not paying attention to when Darby coffin drops to the outside. Barely even catches him, I will say. Ciampa then is a point where he throws Darby's face directly into the girder under the ring. The dive crossbody off of the ring post onto Ciampa through the table could not have been a more perfect dive. Like, it worked so perfectly.
It was fucking beautiful. And it's like I said, it was like Darby, all of his matches are going to have a little outside interference, but I just thought they did a good job of keeping it as a wrestling match tonight.
Yes.
And I thought Ciampa brought the intensity, and I loved it. And I just loved this, yeah.
Physicality, blood coming out of Ciampa's head. I love that he won with the Scorpion Deathlock. I love how, like, that finish was protected. Great respect shown from both guys afterwards. Brody comes out, shakes Darby's hand, and calls a shot. He wants that World Championship match with Darby, and he's going to get it in Virginia next week on Dynamite. And it's you've literally got my two favorites. Like, you've got my two favorites in AEW, and I'm just like, I'm fucking eating, dude. This is going to be a banger.
So match was amazing. So you got Darby versus Brody for the world title. You got MJF versus Kevin Knight for the TNT title.
Yep.
Is this a super special Dynamite or anything? Nope. Just Wednesday.
They've got some special graphics for it, but just Wednesday.
Just Wednesday. And it's just like when people ask about why you prefer AEW over anything else, this is why. You know what I mean? 52, you might get 6 really through a year. You get 52 Dynamites or whatever. You'll get 6 to 8 where they're just like bang average shows. But most of the time, there's a world title match. Like, I'm not saying there's a world title match every week, but there's a world title match and a TNT title match next week. Like, who's doing their TV like this? Like, in the history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's just like, I don't know. Just feel so fortunate to be an AEW fan.
And I just feel like if there's anything I take out of this past week, it's that I much prefer my wrestling content to be a overflux of quality as opposed to feeling shortchanged.
Yep.
And very rarely do I come out of an AEW show and feel shortchanged.
Yeah,
even if Dynamites are just bare average,
dude,
I still feel like I got a great main event out of this show.
Yeah.
And I like, in terms of like, I can look at the card and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to get basically in this regard, and I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel shortchanged. I feel like I got exactly what was advertised, and it delivered.
Yeah, and pay-per-views are a 15-course menu.
Correct.
And you're full. Like, literally, and you're full halfway through, and you're like, I don't know, I can eat any more. And Tony Khan's like, you gonna eat this, you little bitch? Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you love this shit. You love sicko, it. You love this shit.
Here's more. And
exactly.
But yeah, when you see the compare and contrast, and as far as how one company does things for them and their fans, and it works, and then what we prefer, it's always interesting where you can be like, okay, I can point to these things, what I like more over here. And it's just, like Tommaso Ciampa wants the title. Kevin Knight wants the title. Brody King wants the title. It's just like Andrade still wants the title, right? Like right now, everybody in the company wants to be world champion. That doesn't happen very often, and it's this chaotic booking to it. And the guy that a lot of people think are going to be main eventing your pay-per-view at the end of August, which is just a little over 4 months away, just lost by stoppage and got carried out by his enemy. Where the fuck are we going?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Exactly.
Dude, like, and then it's like, I mean, you either fuck with it or you don't. You listen to this show, I fucks with it hard, but like, dude, who's doing this? 4 months out, I imagine that there are people there. You are clear that he has a vision. He knows who's main eventing the show. But if you're just watching the show every week and you don't have any inside information, you're not listening to the other people that might have some, you literally have no idea who's main eventing All In right now. From a fan perspective, you have no idea. Like your guy that's gonna just lost to a second tier member of the Don Callis family by ref stoppage. He didn't lose to Andrade. He didn't lose to Okada. He lost to Mark Davis, the guy that lost to Jungle Boy a couple of weeks ago. He just got beaten so bad that they had to stop the match. That doesn't really translate to, hey, I'm going to main event a 50,000 seat stadium in 4 months. You gotta love it. I love AEW, you know?
Yeah.
I was sure I'm watching that match and Mark Davis is killing it. Will Ospreay's doing his thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, can we hurry up? Will Ospreay's going to win. And then they do a stoppage and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wrestling, man. Wrestling's good.
It's good.
And AEW is a pro wrestling show produced by people who actually like pro wrestling.
Novel concept.
Yeah, because, sometimes in other places, doesn't seem like they like professional wrestling all that much. And then they do CM Punk versus Roman Reigns was just like, fuck, this is pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you cry a little bit when he played the ROH song?
Misera Cantera. I knew he was doing it because he was teasing the fuck out of it on his Instagram story. So I knew it was coming. So I was happy to hear it again. I thought the entrance was great.
It's so hilarious to me because everybody gets excited about it. Even Tiffany fucking loves it, right? Loves it when he comes out there. I had never heard that song until I heard it at Revolution. Don't know who the fuck AFI is.
Hey, Miss Murder, can I? Do you not know that song?
No. Yeah, couldn't pick any of these people out of a lineup, but it gets everybody hyped, so I fucking love it. Like,
it's a great theme.
I'm a Revolution for the dog collar match, right?
I still hate you for that too.
And so he comes out to that song at there, and I say this, Tiffany went fucking nuts. Like, all the energy that you would have gave that entrance, Tiffany did it for you. And I'm looking at her like, I did not know she could have emotion for someone other than Cody Rhodes.
True, for real.
I didn't know that was possible. Like, this level. And what I'm talking about, I'm like, she's a fan of other things. Don't get me wrong. But the level of, that's my Punk. That's my, like, yelling it. And I'm looking at her like, I didn't even pay attention to the intro. I started watching her.
Yeah,
because I had never seen her, as our time as friends, get that excited about anything that didn't have anything to do with Cody.
Yep.
So, no, apparently, Indiana, she's from Indiana. Punk lived on the Indiana Indies, and that was her Punk. So, I'd say that just to be like, I tell people this is as we wrap this show up. The frustrating thing about WWE is I know they can do it.
Oh, it's always within their. That's the thing. That's why I can understand fans' frustrations, and I don't go after fans for being like, man, I feel like I'm getting shortchanged with this place with the way things have been, or they're blaming TKO and everything like that for the way things have been. I don't get mad at them because, again, like, because you've seen what it can be like. Yes. And I understand that, like, with the pomp and circumstance that they do, if they just put on matches like that, I mean, like, that part of the reason why AEW popped off the way that it did was the fact that, like, dude, 2018, 2019 was, like, one of the worst years of, like, periods of WWE in decades. Like, that time frame sucked. And it was a perfect time for AEW to become a thing. So I understand fans wanting to be like, just literally, you have the capability to do what we want. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then just like, and again, I would also just say, just be open to just finding what you want, like where it's available. Don't cut yourself off and just have to be like, I have to support this one team. Because again, Floyd and I, we do a show specifically about AEW. We have always spoke about AEW being our preferred company. We both watched WrestleMania. Okay. Like, we're not shortchanging ourselves to try to find enjoyment elsewhere.
I could not tell you. I know it's happened, but I could not tell you when the last time I actually missed an episode of Raw or SmackDown. I couldn't tell you. I am just as big of a WWE watcher as I've ever been. My money goes to AEW. That's a preference of me because that's the product that I prefer. That's where my money goes. But as far as watching TV, yeah, I never miss an episode of WWE. I enjoy it for the most part. It's like AEW always say it's the 80-20 rule. I enjoy 80% of what they put on, so I love it. WWE, it's like the 60-40 rule. I enjoy about 60% of what they put on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of real quickly before we close the show out, playoff Palooza collision that we're getting this Saturday. We have announced for the show Roosh versus Adam Priest. The conglomeration will be defending the AEW World Trios Championship against the Don Callis family. So Andrade, Hechicero, and Lance Archer. We're going to get Jericho teaming up with the Hurt Syndicate, who were the boys that he was able to find to team with to face off against the Demand.
And they hate the Demand. So
they hate the Demand. So it is absolutely with what he said. We're going to find somebody who hates them just as much, that more so than they like me. And that's exactly what he did. We're going to hear from FTR. Chris Statlander will be in action. We're going to get a 10-man tag team match between the Death Riders and the Rascals and the Young Bucks. So we're also going to get Jack Perry defending the national championship against El Clan. And Tekla and Sky Blue will be teaming up to face Persephone and Alex Windsor.
My girl Persephone. Yeah. So she's a good wrestler. Really good.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a solid collision. It's going to be Saturday night. Make sure we're back on Saturdays this week. Make sure you tune in. It was actually recorded tonight, so try to avoid spoilers.
Yes. So that, though, is going to... I believe we don't have any other news or anything like that to talk about outside of with AEW, I believe. I think we got everything.
Yeah, I think we got everything. I was looking for stuff to put on there, and I didn't have anything.
Yeah, so I think we can close it out, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you are continuing to support the podcast. We really do appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, and just catching up with AEW with two guys that love talking AEW. So if you enjoy the podcast, rate, review, subscribe, share us around with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish, whether you're listening to us on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. We appreciate the support. You can follow us on Twitter at ATElitePod. You can also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible. And you should check out all the other incredible podcasts that are on this network. I'm at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And be sure to sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. You can find the link in the description of the show. Floyd, happy draft season. Hope you have a very fun draft the next couple days for the NFL. And I will pass it off to you so you can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
Thank you to everyone who has listened to the show. Just to let you know, we definitely appreciate it. And thank you for putting up with a little bit of our WrestleMania talk today. It's WrestleMania week. It's still, for me, paramount to my wrestling fandom. I mean, I have two wrestling-themed tattoos. One is the old school WWF tattoo. The other one is WrestleMania 19, my first WrestleMania. So they just mean a lot to me. So thank you for being patient with us as we talked about it today. And yes, I did say something positive about CM Punk. I know that just threw you all for a loop. But good Lord.
I'm going to hold it so close to my heart. Like, I'm just going to have it on a loop. That's going to be my ringtone. It's just you talking good about it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, as much as a hater as I can be, and when I don't like people, I don't like them all the way. I will say this about me, and if you haven't picked this up from the show, before AEW, before WWE, before FTR, before CM Punk, before anything, for me, it's pro wrestling. And when I see pro wrestling perform perfectly, I said that slower because I didn't, it was a little alliteration there. But when I see it perform perfectly, I'm always going to give it props. And that's what I saw Sunday night. I saw pro wrestling performed perfectly by two guys that I'm really not a fan of. But it was It was done exceptional. So I wanted to give that a shout out, and I wanted to say that to most of you people, just to everyone that listens. Do that. Open yourself up to this one. This is like, as much as, especially in the early shows, I was like, fuck WWE, and it was just kind of fun. You know, I do think we're moved past that, and just kind of enjoy what you enjoy. If you enjoy AEW more, put all your energy into, enjoying AEW and appreciating AEW and be about AEW. It doesn't have to, just because you love AEW, it doesn't have to mean fuck WWE or vice versa. You can like both. It's okay. And most of us, there are parts of each show that we do like. There's parts of each show that we don't like, if you're being a rational human being and you're not just, doing the team fandom thing. So that being said, thank you again for listening. Thank you for bearing with us as we make it through this show. We want to just reach out to your people. Tell them you love them. I just talked to a lot of people lately, and people seem to be struggling at this time of year. So check on your people. Make sure they're okay. If you live close enough, take them out to dinner. Take them to a movie. If you live farther away, send them a gift card. Whatever you could do. And honestly, let's say you're broke. Just get on the phone or text them and just let them know you're there. It's okay. I mean, everything doesn't have to be money-based. Time, attention, knowing people care is what matters. With that, I will leave you how I always leave you, whether it's home, work, or school. Always do your best to be elite.